Everybody poops. Everybody poops. Everybody does it. We all do it. We have to just get a little bit comfortable talking about it. I'm Jackie, and if you're new here, I share a little bit of everything to help people live better lives, to live a better life mentally, physically, spiritually, aesthetically. So don't forget to click subscribe, because with me on your side, we are going to level up your entire life. Like, I'm even going to level up your bathroom habits. To be honest, there's literally no better life physically than to have a healthy digestive system. It is just so important. And aesthetically, there is no better life than a life that affords you the ability to travel. I traveled for work from 2015 until 2020. I was on a plane almost every week. I was in a different city or a different country every other week or every month. Honestly, this is part of the reason why I have so much to share, because for the last 15 years or so, I haven't been clocking into a job. I've just been out here with life, living, traveling, really getting to experience life and getting to learn what it is to live a better life. I've been traveling internationally for the last 2 decades. I've only gotten constipated once in my entire life of travels, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later on in the video, because I violated one of my own rules, and if I hadn't violated that rule, I wouldn't have gotten constipated. Before I jump into it, I just want to remind everyone that I am not a doctor. I did not go to medical school. Everything that I share is based off of my life experience. Now, first, I'm going to move into the real basics of how not to get constipated when traveling. Tip number 1, first and foremost, is stay hydrated. Dehydration causes constipation, so ensuring that you stay hydrated is imperative if you want to not get constipated. Tip number 2 is I like to eat a lot of fruit. I eat a ton of fruit all the time anyway, but especially the day of travel, I like up my fruit intake by at least a piece or 2. I ensure that I always have an apple the day that I travel and the day after I travel. Fruits are just really helpful for regularly going to the bathroom. Tip number 3 is I drink a lot of ginger tea when I'm traveling. Ginger tea can help to soothe the stomach, which is great when you're traveling in general, but can also relieve gas and bloating. It can stimulate digestive juices, reduce inflammation, and honestly, like, so much more. It's basically an elixir for our digestive system, and I'll even make ginger fruit juices like this one with orange, ginger, and pomegranate. Tip number 4 is to stretch and walk. Now, I'm a huge advocate of stretching. I even talked about it in my Getting Ready for Lisbon vlog last week, just because stretching is so important, and doing poses like pigeon pose or child's pose here in this video can also help to just massage the digestive system and help to support regularly going to the bathroom. And walking is also so important to help stimulate the digestive system. I'm going to go more in depth about how important walking is when you're traveling in the next few weeks, so don't forget to subscribe for my video on how to not get jet lag. Walking is a big part of that. My next tip, number 5, is yogurt, probiotics, and also prebiotics. Probiotics can help to support digestion and overall just support a healthy gut microbiome. Avocado is one of my favorite prebiotics, and prebiotics kind of like support probiotics. They're basically besties. I also want to remind you to make sure your yogurt is bubbling and alive like this one. If you want to know more about why that is so important, I linked a TikTok post where I explained about yogurt being alive in the description of this video. Next, I want to go over some more like advanced tips. Like we've covered the basics. Now let's get into a little bit more advanced when it comes to how to not get constipated when traveling. These are more about an overall healthier lifestyle in general. When your body is overall a lot healthier, you can kind of use your body to hack your body to help you with certain different things, like not getting constipated when traveling. For tip number 6, we're going to talk about the circadian rhythm. If you're unsure what a circadian rhythm is, it's basically our internal clock. I talked about it in another video that I'm going to link up here. Getting on our circadian rhythm is so important to lead a healthy lifestyle. Aligning with my overall circadian rhythm has helped my life so much. I even wrote about it in an article on my website that I linked in the description of this video if you're interested. And aligning with my circadian rhythm is also one of 8 smallish changes that I made in my life that had a really huge positive impact on my mental health and just overall life and my well-being. I linked that article in the description of this video as well if you're someone who's looking to just better your overall life outside of not being constipated when traveling. Basically, when you're aligned with your circadian rhythm, your digestive system gets stimulated around the same time every day. Which brings me to tip number 7. know your body and then use coffee to hack it. When you know your body, you can kind of hack your bowel movements when you're traveling because coffee is a proper natural laxative. This works especially well if you're like me and you don't drink coffee too often. And now to give an example of this, I'm going to get really personal, but basically when I'm at home in New York, I go to the bathroom between 7:30 and 8:30 in the morning every morning. It's the time that I go to the bathroom. So recently when I traveled to Lisbon, I was 5 hours ahead of New York time. So based off of my natural circadian rhythm and the internal cycle that my body is on, that would mean that the day that I arrived in Lisbon, I would have to go to the bathroom, generally speaking, between 12:30 p.m. and 1:30 p.m. So what I did was I had a coffee around noon and it worked like a charm. It was really amazing how practically instantly it worked. Coffee is honestly like Roto-Rooter when you don't really drink it a lot. It's really like, woof, it just works. Bringing me to the next tip, number 8, is when you have to go, you have to go. You cannot miss that opportunity. You have to go when you have to go, even if that means you have to go in public. And honestly, on that note, I'd also like to shout out the gelato and coffee shop across the street from my friend's apartment in Lisbon. Literally had no choice but to use it, and to use it on more than one occasion. And I'm just gonna take a moment to appreciate the bathroom because it was super cute and it was a really good selfie op. They also made a proper affogato. Now you might be scared to go in public, or you might want to wait till you get back to your hotel so you're somewhere more in private, but I'm going to remind you, everybody poops. Everybody poops. So if you have to go, especially when you're traveling, go. Do not miss that opportunity. Not abiding by the rule when you have to go is how I had my one and only experience with constipation when traveling. I was traveling to the Amalfi Coast from New York, so I flew from New York to Rome, and then I took a train from Rome to Naples, and then I took a car from Naples to the house. I don't know why I waited until we got to the train station in Naples to have a coffee, but I did. That coffee activated like 5 minutes into an hour or so car ride. And I didn't want to be that person that's like, hey, can we stop when we just got in the car? So I held it in. And for 3 days, I didn't go to the bathroom. And that was like the most uncomfortable 3 days of my life. It was so painful. I honestly give people who have chronic constipation so much credit because that shit hurt. Like literally that shit hurt. I do not ever want to experience that ever again. And that's why it's so important that when you gotta go, you gotta go, okay? Just trust me on that one. My last tip is easier said than done, especially in today's day and age, I know. The last tip, number 9, is to try not to stress. Just relax as much as you can. When we're stressed, we activate the cortisol stress hormone, which puts our body into the fight or flight response. We want to ensure our parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and digest system, is active in order to set our digestive system up for success. I wrote more about the parasympathetic nervous system and the rest and digest response in an article on my website. I linked that below if you want to dig a little bit deeper. But basically, if you know you're going to be traveling, plan ahead. Give yourself some extra time. Don't be in a rush. Hope for the best, but be ready and prepared to handle a hiccup if it should come. I hope that these tips can help you to not be constipated when you're traveling. And now you can really trust me on these tips because of all the things that I am in this world, the one thing I am not is full of shit. So these are great tips. Thank you for coming back to my channel. Again, my name is Jackie. I help people live better lives mentally, physically, spiritually, aesthetically. I make new videos multiple times a week. With me on your side, we are going to level your entire life up. Like I am even going to have you pooping better. So do not forget to click subscribe, and I will see you next week.